Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, man, we're going to talk about Tim Legler and the top 10 list that he came out with a couple of days ago. I think it was like last Friday or whatever it was. I saw a clip of, whatever it is, ESPN, NBA, whatever the hell the show is. And, I said these idiots on there, Kendrick Perkins and Malika Andrews. Who wants to see these fools, man? But anyway, Tim Legler has top 10 list. And I want to focus on the top 3 players he had and the comments that he made about Michael Jordan and the LeBron James comparisons. In this video, because this man, once again, these guys, they lose me, man. And I like Tim Legler. There's not a bash video on Tim Legler. I like Tim Legler. I respect his basketball acumen and his analysts or his analytical takes or whatever on ESPN. I ain't got no problem with him, but something that he said that LeBron James is the only player in the debate with Michael Jordan. That's what he said. And that's asinine for him to say. And he should know better than that. But once again, when you're on ESPN, these guys, they don't hold on to the integrity. So that when it comes to the Michael Jordan, LeBron James stuff, these guys are not honest with you. They're not educating you. For him to say that Michael or LeBron James is the only player in the conversation or the debate with Michael Jordan. Tim Legler, man, come on, man. Wake up, dude. Wake up, man. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled by all the support, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. You guys sharing your stories with me, sharing the info. You guys standing up and rolling with me. And that's what it's about. We must continue to stand up and do this. Set the record straight, man. You know what I'm saying? All the true basketball fans, man. Thank you guys. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to do a video and talk about this dude, Tim Legler, and the top 10 list that he came up with. Like I said, I believe this was, I think it was a couple days ago. I want to say it was like Thursday, Friday, or whatever it was that this came on, and I saw this clip of Tim Legler giving his top 10 list out of all time. Now, off the jump, once again, Tim Legler said that this is his opinion. Right? He said that he was getting a lot of hate on social media for his top 10 list and blah, blah, blah. And he said, yo, this is my opinion, man. You know what I'm saying? If you like the color purple and I like the color blue, I'm not going to say that purple's a garbage color or it's not a good color. That's your color. That's your opinion. If you like that color, that's your favorite color. He went off some tangent about opinions. And yes, he's right. It's his opinion to rank guys however he wants to rank them, however he wants to do that. Absolutely. No doubt about it. I've always told you guys on this channel. It's not about me convincing you of Michael Jordan being the greatest of all time or any of that stuff. That's not what it's about. It's about what, guys? Setting the record straight, stopping the lies and the narratives. Because once again, when they talk about these opinions, these guys are forming their opinions based off of the narratives and the lies that they're pumping out. So you cannot form an educated opinion, a valid opinion, based off of lies and narratives. It has to be based off reality, based off the facts. And that's why I say to people, okay, you think LeBron James is right behind Michael Jordan. Why? And they can't tell you why. They come up with some nonsensical narrative. They come up with some lies. They're not giving you the facts because I can easily make debates or make arguments over other players way over LeBron James. Easily over LeBron James. Easily. Because why? Because of the facts, the video footage, and what it shows us. That the ESPN and guys like Tim Legler, they never want to talk about. They won't bring this stuff up in these debates, in these conversations. So when he talks about opinions, yes, you can have an opinion and have a guy ranked number 1, a guy ranked number 5, a guy ranked number 10. Absolutely. The LeBron James fans don't seem to understand this, though, because if you don't have LeBron James number 1 and number 2, they say that you don't know basketball. They'll say things like, if you don't have LeBron James at least top 3, then you don't know what you're talking about, and you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. They'll say that. So I have to have LeBron James top 3, top 2, number 1, or I don't know basketball. So once again, I can't have an opinion. And once again, when I give you a list, or I rank guys, or I compare these players, or I tell you this guy was greater than this guy, or I say this guy's not here, and I say why, I break it down to you. I give you all the info you need, the facts. I'm not giving you a bunch of opinion and narratives and lies. I'm giving you the facts based off of the on-court game and how their careers played out. The facts. When I tell you that LeBron James ain't worthy of a top 10 spot, and I give you all the reasons why, the walking off the court, the poor sportsmanship, always blaming his teammates, never taking accountability, never working on an overall game, no go-to move in the clutch, right? Never really becoming a clutch time performer, never fitting into a system, never really making his teammates around him better. These are all facts. They're facts. They're literally facts that I break down in videos to you guys. That's not my opinion on this stuff. That's what he does. He's a high-volume flopper, right? He's not coachable. Those are facts. That's not my opinion. He's not coachable. The man's been through, what, 6, 7, 8 coaches in his career. And he's firing coaches for no reason because he won't be coachable. He won't play the system. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. Look at all the players around him that fail, that struggle. Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, all these guys. They're struggling all the time. They're failing all the time. They're inconsistent. Why is that? That's LeBron James. Those are facts. That's not me making this up. Those are the facts. So, Tim Legler, the opinion statement, I get. But he lost it, and he contradicted himself when he said the following statement. So, he gave his top 3. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then he proceeds to say, the only person in the debate with Michael Jordan is LeBron James. That is not your opinion. Once again, guys, any real, true basketball fan, and Tim Legler should know this, knows and understands, LeBron James is not right behind Michael Jordan. And if you're going to say he's right behind Michael Jordan and then say he's the only one in the debate with Michael Jordan, that's not an opinion. That's a straight up lie. There is no debate with Michael Jordan. And that's the whole point here. This is why you guys look stupid and you sound ridiculous and you get exposed and people come at you in social media. LeBron James is not right behind Michael Jordan. He's never been right behind Michael Jordan. That's one of the narratives that we're talking about. He's not past Larry Bird. He didn't pass Hakeem Olajuwon or Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson or Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell. He did not pass these guys. And all the reasons I just highlighted before are some of the reasons why. He's not a true competitor, LeBron James. He's not. This is why he's a form super teams. He don't make the players around him better, so he always needs more help. He's always a victim, LeBron James. I'm not putting a guy who's always a victim, who never takes responsibility and always points a finger at his teammates or the coaching staff or the fans or the ownership. I'm not putting him in the top 10 with some of the other all-time greats. These guys, the LeBron James fans will say, oh, he's got 4 MVPs, and he's got all these all-star selections and all-NBA selections. He scored 40,000 points. These are the same people that will say that Bill Russell ain't top 10. Doesn't Bill Russell have 5 MVPs? Pretty sure he does. Doesn't Bill Russell have way more championships than LeBron James? Pretty sure he does. So once again, all those accolades, they count and matter for LeBron James, but not for Bill Russell. So Bill Russell has 5 MVPs, but his fans will say he's not top 10. LeBron James has 4 MVPs, but he's a GOAT. He's lost more than he won. Bill Russell didn't lose more than he won. But Bill Russell ain't top 10, they'll tell you, because he only had 8 teams in the league. Well, LeBron James went to the finals when he had 0 teams in his Eastern Conference. 0 teams he was playing against. Bill Russell didn't have that advantage in his era to play against that weak Eastern Conference. So once again, all those trips to the finals that LeBron James got, he would not have had if he played an actual real era, not the weakest Eastern Conference in the history of the NBA. That's right, guys. So, when Tim Legler says, oh, LeBron James is the only one in the debate, this is where you go off the rails, Tim Legler. This is what ESPN promotes. That LeBron James is the only guy in the debate, that LeBron James is right behind Michael Jordan. Only ESPN and some of these other weird networks and some of these, once again, these uncredible pages, these channels that have no credibility, no cachet. They're being run by a bunch of idiots. They're the only publications that put LeBron James number 2. There's no, once again, I'm saying it again, there's no true basketball fan that knows the history of the game. I'm talking about knows the history of the game, understands the history, respects the history, that has LeBron James number 2 all time. You can't do it. If you know Dr. J, if you know Jerry West, if you know Bill Russell, if you know Tim Duncan, if you know Michael Jordan, if you know Hakeem Olajuwon, if you know all of these guys, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, there's no way in hell you could put LeBron James above them. You can't do it. You just can't do it. And that's what I preach on this channel. Once again, if you're a grown man and you stand on values and principles and you expect your professionals to be professionals, you expect other grown men to be grown men and to carry themselves a certain way, then you can't respect LeBron James. You can't get behind LeBron James. You cannot support LeBron James. He's a dirtbag narcissist. Cares about nothing but himself, nothing but the money and the fame, not the love of the game, which is why he has a no trade clause in his contract. Michael Jordan has a love of the game clause in his contract. You see the dynamic there, Tim Legler? And there's no way. I would love to hear Tim Legler argue LeBron James above Larry Bird, for example. I would love to hear him argue this. I would love to debate Tim Legler on that. I would love to. And once again, I like Tim Legler. There's no knock video on Tim Legler. But for him to say LeBron James is the only one in the debate with Michael Jordan, you sound ridiculous. Because LeBron James is nowhere near the argument, nowhere in the debate with Michael Jordan. There is no GOAT debate with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And once again, ESPN, they continue to promote this nonsense. But we ain't buying it. Over here on this channel, you guys know that. Excuse me for a second, guys. But Tim Legler wants to talk about opinions. Oh, it's my opinion. Your opinion's not based off of the facts, Tim Legler. See, guys, I've told you this many times. Opinions are great, right? We have a lot of opinions here on this channel. We talk about basketball, and I'm giving you the perspective, my opinion, based off of someone watching this stuff in the 80s and the 90s. This is my perspective, the opinion and the perspective I gained watching these guys growing up. And yes, I have a good memory, guys. You guys can probably tell that. I'm very fortunate. I can remember a lot of this stuff. Sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, how do you know what was going on when you were 9 and 10 years old? What does that even mean? Some people can. Some people know what's going on. Some people are more aware of things. They can remember things. You don't remember cartoons from when you were a kid? You don't remember stories or things that happened to you when you were a kid? You don't remember this stuff? I do. I remember watching basketball at 9, 10, 11 years old. Once again, if it's always on, like I said, I was fortunate. My dad watched basketball a lot. I went and watched him play basketball a lot. I played basketball a lot growing up. So once again, I was a true fan. I watched the game and I understood the game. They ain't gonna do it my age. So yes, I was 11, 12 years old. I remember this stuff. And as you guys can see, my memory's pretty damn good. Isn't that ironic? Guys, that I'm doing this. So I'm giving you guys the facts here, man, and the perspective based off someone who watched this stuff. When you hear me speak, and I tell you I don't need stats or numbers to verify something I already know. So if I say this guy was a very good defensive player in that era, I don't need to look at his accolades in the all-defensive teams or his steals per game or his blocks to know that. I already know that because I watched him do it on the court. So when they came up with this whole thing, oh, Michael Jordan's steals were inflated and stuff like that, I laughed. It didn't make a difference. Michael Jordan was never a great defensive player because of the stats he put up. No one was ever, once again, when I was young, no one ever harped on the stats. We didn't have iPads and cell phones and computers and internet and, basketball reference and stat muse and all this stuff. You didn't have all this stuff. So the way you knew the players was from watching how they played. Their reputations on the court, they earned it. It had nothing to do with the numbers. Oh, man, this guy averaged 3 steals. He must be good on defense. No. Oh, this guy averaged this, so he must be good. No. Oh, he accumulated this many steals. He must be. No. I watched Michael Jordan run back and forth all over the court. I watched him in the defensive stands. I watched him terrorize defensive players. I watched guys looking over their shoulder from Michael Jordan. I watched guys scared to dribble the ball around Michael Jordan. I watched the effort he gave consistently on defense. And that led me to understand that this guy was really good on defense. It had nothing to do with numbers, guys. Nothing to do with that. See, ESPN, they promote a lot of numbers and stats as if that tells you the whole story, that explains the game to you. That's not how you learn the game or understand the game. Someone like Jason Kidd never could impact the game without putting up any quote-unquote stats. He could impact the game. There are a lot of guys like that didn't put up points per se, but they impacted wins and losses in other areas. Maybe they didn't impact the box score per se, but they impacted the game. The game. The mind games that Dennis Rodman played on the court didn't show up in the box score. but the effort he gave was there. Effort don't show up in the box score, guys, but the effort was there from these guys. So Tim Legler talks about LeBron James, the only guy in the debate with Michael Jordan. You sound ridiculous, man. Come on, man. You're not being honest. LeBron James is not greater than Larry Bird. He's not greater than Hakeem Olajuwon or Tim Duncan or Magic Johnson or Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain or Dr. J, or I'm not putting him above these guys, or Jerry West. I'm not doing it, man. I'll never do it. Those guys earned it. Those guys battled. They were competitors. Some of those guys played in harsh times in society. Deal with all kinds of things that LeBron James couldn't deal with today. A lot of these guys couldn't deal with today. They didn't get excuses made for them. They didn't have the media cover for them. No one covered for Jerry West when he was losing. No one made excuses for Jerry West. Look at all the excuses they made for LeBron James. And you'll have LeBron James fans bring up Jerry West 1-8. Oh, Jerry West 1-8 in the finals. They don't even know about Jerry West. I've done a video on that. So I don't know, man. I don't remember his whole top 10, Tim Legler. So I can't critique the whole top 10. But he had Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't agree with that. Listen, you guys know how I feel about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. To me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is probably like the third or fourth greatest center of all time. So I'm not putting him at number 3 all time on the list. Like I said, if you told me Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the greatest of all time, I'm not going to argue with that. But me personally, I don't have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar that high, guys. I don't think he's that as great as, because once again, people, you keep hearing that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is supposed to be number 2 or number 3. So then you guys think that's a way it's supposed to automatically be without really knowing the history of the game or looking into the history of the game and thinking about other great centers. I'm not putting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar above Will Chamberlain or above Bill Russell. I just won't do it. And I have a hard time putting him above Hakeem Olajuwon. But this is me. That's just me. Once again, I'm not, LeBron James being number 2 is something that they keep trying to tell you so that you think that's normal. Oh, yeah, LeBron James number 2. That's what the LeBron James fans say. Oh, everyone knows LeBron James at least number 2. Who? Not the real basketball fans. They don't got LeBron James number 2. No, they don't. And as a matter of fact, more and more people are starting to drop LeBron James out of their top 5 and out of their top 10s because the way that he's continued to carry himself on the court over the last several years now, especially since he's been in LA, it's been an embarrassment for this man. No shame for this guy. Always a victim, man. No accountability still. Never takes any blame. Still won't work on his game and ingratiate his teammates playing an actual system. Still load manages. Still standing around on defense. All these years now. But Tim Legler going to put him number 2 all time. The guy who stands around all day on defense, been lollygagging for years for his longevity, you're going to put him number 2 all time. What are you standing on, Tim Legler? You don't hold LeBron James to any standard. You're going to put him above Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? You're disrespecting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You're going to put him above Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or Dr. J? Tim Duncan? How? Once again, if you ever notice, when these people make their lists and they talk about LeBron James and Michael Jordan, they can never break it down. You ever heard Nick Wright try to make an argument for LeBron James over Michael Jordan? Did you ever try to hear him make an argument? He sounds an idiot because there is no argument. He completely lies and tells narratives. That's all he does. Oh, Michael Jordan didn't play against anybody. Oh, Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen. What? Oh, Michael Jordan retired 2 times. 3 times. They always make it some weird thing. They can never debate the Michael Jordan versus LeBron James aspect. They bring up Bill Russell. You ever hear Nick Wright? Oh, the Michael Jordan fans say he has more MVPs. Well, so is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Michael Jordan fans say that he's 6-0. Well, Bill Russell has 11 championships. Then he only lost once. So Bill Russell must be the GOAT. This is how they debate the LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. They bring up 3-4 different players. So what does that show you? It highlights that he's nowhere near Michael Jordan. You have to bring up all of these guys to debate versus Michael Jordan. Meanwhile, as a Michael Jordan supporter, anyone that debates Michael Jordan versus anybody, but especially LeBron James, you debate it. I ain't got to bring up Kobe Bryant. I ain't got to bring up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I ain't got to bring up Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain. None of this stuff. I debate straight up Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. And I've done several videos on this. LeBron James is not the athlete that Michael Jordan was. He don't have the skills of Michael Jordan, the fundamentals of Michael Jordan. He don't have the work ethic of Michael Jordan. He's not coachable like Michael Jordan. He don't get his teammate the most out of his teammates like Michael Jordan. I mean, my goodness, guys. He don't play as hard or consistent as Michael Jordan on both sides of the ball. I mean, what are we talking about here? That's obvious. Tim Legler says he's the only one in the debate with Michael Jordan. No, Tim Legler, there is no debate with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. And that's what you should have said. You should have said, I got Michael Jordan number 1, and there's no debate. No debate. You want to have LeBron James number 2, man, it's on you, Tim Legler. But that's your opinion. But if you want to turn around and say he's the only one in the debate with Michael Jordan, now you've gone past opinion. And now you're trying to create a narrative. Only LeBron James is in that debate. ESPN probably told him to say that. You'll make sure you say it. Only LeBron James in the debate. Not Kareem, not Kobe. None of those guys. Not Bill Russell. Only LeBron James, he said. That's a ridiculous statement right there. Now, you guys know how I feel. To me, it's Michael Jordan, everybody else. You can rank them however you want to rank them. As long as LeBron James ain't in that top 10, I told you, I'm cool. Because LeBron James ain't worthy to be there. He's not worthy to be in that conversation. He ain't earned he hasn't earned it to be mentioned with those guys. What you guys remember the analogy I gave you? It was like the movie Excalibur. If you remember the movie Excalibur, right? What was it? All the knights from across the land were trying to remove the sword from the stone. But you had to be deemed worthy to remove the sword from the stone. So only King Arthur could remove it. It didn't matter how great the knights were. It didn't matter how formidable they were. How many, battles they were in and how many times they came out on top. If they were not worthy to remove the sword from the stone, they would not be able to. It didn't matter how strong you were, none of this stuff. How smart you were, how cunning you could be. You had to be worthy to remove the sword from the stone. For me, LeBron James has not been worthy to remove the sword from the stone. So when Michael Jordan and the other great players, they put the sword in the stone, and the other players come along and they bring it out. We talk about passing a torch, so to speak. Michael Jordan putting it in there, Kobe Bryant taking it out of the stone. To me, LeBron James is not worthy enough to remove the sword from the stone. He can't do it. He hasn't earned it. He hasn't carried himself that way. So I'll never put him in the conversation with those guys. I'll never put him in the top 10. Never. Those are the facts, guys. Those are the facts, man. So Tim Legler, you should hold yourself to a higher standard. You should hold LeBron James to a higher standard. But you're not holding him to a standard. You're not holding him to the same standards of Michael Jordan. You're not holding him to the same standard of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or a Bill Russell, a Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, or Kobe Bryant. You're not doing that. You won't expose him or call him out for the nonsense. You'll just say he's the only one in the debate with Michael Jordan. That's a complete lie. That's a lie. There is no debate with Michael Jordan with LeBron James. There's no debate with anybody in Michael Jordan. Anyone. I have not heard one argument in favor of any player over Michael Jordan. Not Bill Russell, not Will Chamberlain, not Kareem, Kobe, no one has a solid argument against Michael Jordan. You can try to make an argument, but there's nothing over Michael Jordan. No one has anything over him. And that's not a knock on those guys. Only one player could be the greatest. Only one in the eyes of the fans. That does not make the other players not great. Even if I said LeBron James is the 11th greatest player of all time, I got number 11. Even if I said that, that's not a knock on him. You're the 11th greatest player in the history of the game. The LeBron James fans think if you have LeBron James number 1, number 2, is disrespect. LeBron James himself feels disrespect. I want my damn respect. Because we don't think he's the greatest of all time. We don't think he's right behind Michael Jordan. He thinks that's a slight. That's not a slight. Those are the facts. And you should be looking at yourself in the mirror. And you should be holding yourself accountable. But he won't. His fans won't. And Tim Legler's not holding him accountable. Ain't holding him to a standard. Say that nonsense, man. And like I said, I like Tim Legler, man. But he sounds like an idiot when he says that Michael Jordan or LeBron is the only one in the conversation, in the debate with Michael Jordan. That's lies. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.